Good
Hello,
morning. Hi, sis.
we're on lesson 41. God goes with me wherever I go. Want to take it away?
Yeah, I'll read that.
Great.
Today's idea will eventually overcome completely the sense of loneliness and abandonment all the separated ones experience. Depression is an inevitable consequence of separation. So are anxiety, worry, a deep sense of helplessness, misery, suffering, and intense fear of loss. The separated ones have invented many cures for what they believe to be the ills of the world. But the one thing they do not do is to question the reality of the problem. Yet its effects or its consequences cannot be cured because the problem is not real. Wow, that's a big statement, isn't it?
Yes.
Boy. So we're trying to heal something that's not real.
Yes. Oh my gosh. I'm just reminded of a blog that's right on the money for this, but anyhow, I'll bring it up at the end. But yes, we are shown some problem and then we assume that it's real, and then because the ego looks upon it, makes it real, makes a value judgment about it, and then sets off to correct, fix, heal the problem. But the little hidden question, the assumption that's hiding there, is that what you're looking at is real in the first place, and that's exactly what the ego does not want us to see. That we're seeing an image, we make an assumption. This is true, this is what it is, and this is what we have to do about it. But there's a little question in the back that we forgot, is how can that be real if God is all, right?
Well, if it was real, that would mean that there is an opposite or an
Yes,
opponent to God,
that's right.
and that opponent is just as powerful as God.
That two powers, separation has occurred, that ego is also intelligent, a real mind apart from God. Yes, absolutely. God and something else is the premise of every problem that we give power to.
So, in a nutshell, here in the world through the ego thought system, we believe that both good and evil are equally as powerful, are equally as convincing, as real,
Mhm.
as powerful as each other, right?
That's right. Anytime we react to something that God did not create, we are making that proclamation that God is real, but this is also real. So what happened to, nothing is, the truth is true and nothing else is true. We're happy to admit the first part, that the truth is true, but we're also accepting that something else is also equally true.
So,
Mm.
at some point in these early lessons, we need to start making the positive separation
Mm.
between what is of God and what is not of God here in the dream,
Yes.
right?
Mhm.
Okay, so the things that we take for granted, like sickness, like death. Again, I've said this before. How
Mhm.
many of us still believe we go home through death,
Mm.
right?
Right.
Holy moly.
Yes.
Got to be a vicious kind of God if he orders our death.
Mhm.
I wouldn't trust a God like that.
And
Okay.
also, the absence of a loved one really is like the ego's greatest assertion that death is real. And look at this. The one thing that we do not do is question the reality of the problem, or seeming death. We never bother to even question or challenge or look upon these problems through the light of Holy Spirit. We just assume that it is, and then we're off to the races trying to fix it or correct it or heal it. And of course, death is inevitable. We can't do anything about that one.
No, and what we do too
Mm-hmm.
is that we go, okay, so the problem's real, whatever form it might take, and then we ask Holy Spirit to come into the illusion
Mm-hmm.
and heal or fix an illusory problem.
Yes. The standard prayer is, God, come into this mythical place we made up and heal and fix, a problem that only an insane mind could see. God in his sanity knows nothing about sickness, death, separation, positives and negatives in the ego thought system. So yes, thank you, sis. That was
very good. Okay.
Call God into the gap.
Yeah. Okay, so I'll keep reading here. So the idea for today has the power to end all this foolishness forever. And foolishness it is, despite the serious and tragic forms it may take. Deep within you is everything that is perfect, ready to radiate through you and out into the world. It will cure all sorrow and pain and fear and loss, because it will heal the mind that thought these things were real and suffered out of its allegiance to them. You can never be deprived of your perfect holiness, your perfect innocence. Lost my place here. Which one? You can never.
First line, paragraph 3.
Yeah. You can never be deprived of your perfect holiness because its source, which is God, goes with you wherever you go. You can never suffer because the source of all joy goes with you wherever you go. You can never be alone because the source of all life goes with you wherever you go. Nothing can destroy your peace of mind because God goes with you wherever you go.
Because God is in our mind.
Sorry?
Because God is in our mind.
Yes. But, of course, we won't know he's in our mind until we desire the awareness of that.
Right.
And the prerequisite for awareness of God in our mind is to say no to believing what is not God.
That's right. Yeah.
We understand that you do not believe all this. How could you, when the truth is hidden deep within under a heavy cloud of insane thoughts, dense and obscuring, yet representing all you see? Today we will make our first real attempt to get past this dark and heavy cloud and to go through it to the light beyond. There will be only one long practice period today. In the morning, as soon as you get up, if possible, sit quietly for some 3 to 5 minutes with your eyes closed. At the beginning of the practice period, repeat today's idea very slowly. God goes with me wherever I go. Then make no effort to think of anything. Try instead to get a sense of turning inward past all the idle thoughts of the world. Try to enter very deeply into your own mind, keeping it clear of any thoughts that might divert your attention. From time to time, you may repeat the idea if you find it helpful. God goes with me wherever I go. Yeah. But most of all, try to sink down and inward, away from the world and all the foolish thoughts of the world. You are trying to reach past all these things. You are trying to leave appearances and approach reality, remembering that appearances are what we seem to see in the body and in the world, in our mind, right?
Right.
Oops.
Paragraph 7.
Thank you. Yeah. You are trying to reach past. You are trying to leave appearances and approach reality, right? It is quite possible to reach God. In fact, it is very easy because it is the most natural thing in the world. You might even say It is the only natural thing in the world. The way will open if you believe that it is possible. This exercise can bring very startling results, even the first time it is attempted. And sooner or later, it is always successful. We will go into more detail about this kind of practice as we go along, but it will never fail completely, and instant success is possible. Well, from my own experience and from yours, sis, definitely support that and say, yes, it is possible, right? And it's easy.
When we desire it, that's what I found. It was equivalent. The results were equivalent or related directly to my level of desire for it. No distraction, going straight beyond all appearances and all stories in the mind, and desiring just to connect with our source. And I love the emphasis on it's the most natural thing in the world. To be what we are is our natural state. It doesn't require any efforting. And later on, he goes into how much efforting and stress that identifying with the ego and the mythical me requires. Exhausting, high level of stress, always in that tension of trying to be what you're not, which is so unnatural.
Yeah, beautiful. Throughout the day, use today's idea often, repeating it very slowly, preferably with eyes closed. Think of what you were saying, what the words mean. Concentrate on the holiness that they imply about you, on the unfailing companionship that is yours, on the complete protection that surrounds you. You can indeed afford to laugh at fear thoughts, remembering that God goes with you wherever you go. So that's lesson 41. God goes with me wherever I go, because God is in my mind eternally, uninterrupted. Whether I'm aware of God in my mind or not, God is still there. So thank you for joining us today. Yeah. And that's lesson 41.
And I'm going to ask that this blog entitled "Who Did This? The Ego's Dirty Little Secret" be added to this workbook lesson. You'll have fun with that. Yeah.
And do you have the link there? Oh, and you send it?
Yep.
Send it to me.
Yes, I will. Yes.
Thank you. And we're going to have that link below. It's right here now. See?
See below.
How come I can't see it? Okay.
Thank you, guys.
Thank you.
Time.
Bye.
Okay. Bye.